if you're a buyer and you're thinking about buying a house in the next 12 months, you need to know about this new rule that the National Association of Realtors just came out that all realtors and brokers like myself need to follow when viewing homes. So here's the rule. Written agreements with buyers will be required nationwide. Such agreements will be required prior to touring properties with the buyer, even including live virtual tours, okay? So if I FaceTime you or whatever, I'm still supposed to get a buyer broker agreement signed with you. So I've got some really important tips for you buyers that aren't sure which agent you want to choose. First tip number one is I definitely would try to team up with somebody that is an expert, that knows what they're doing, that can help you understand the valuations of the home to make sure you don't overpay. But in the event that you're just like starting out and you don't want to sign something exclusive for all the properties to view, know that you can sign a buyer broker that is exclusive just for that property only. So if you're going to tour a home, then yes, you could sign it for just that home and it only applies to that home. If you decide to buy another home, you are no longer bound to that realtor. You can sign a new buyer broker with a different realtor. Tip number two, you're gonna wanna make sure to ask how much if the seller is offering any buyer's agent commission. Here's why. If you go to sign that buyer broker agreement and it says 3% in there, and the house that you're touring that you decided to maybe use the listing agent for, let's say that seller's only offering 2%. Guess who's responsible for that extra 1% that is written in there? That would be you, the buyer. So if the buyer's agent is only offering 2%, then you want to sign a buyer broker that's got 2%, not one that's got a 3% in there. It all depends on what is being paid. And that kind of goes for all properties. It now makes it more difficult for buyers and even me as an agent or a broker to understand exactly how much, because every property can be different on how much commission. Now, so far, everything's been kind of running similar to before. It doesn't seem like a huge deal, but these are really important tips for successful buyers out there to make sure that they get into the right home with the right agent.